Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
Oh, it's... Oh. I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop offs.
What's going on, y'all? Bradley D.L.O. Thomas. I am a marketing professional by day in the biotechnology industry. I am an MC producer by passion. Let me pass the microphone.
What's up? It's your girl, Opal Elisa. I am a director of multicultural business strategy for a large financial firm by day. By passion, I am an MC. I'm a poet, spoken word artist, author, all of the above.
Okay. That's dope. So today we have a very special guest. I don't know about y'all, but was there ever that one person where when you was little playing basketball, let's say like in elementary school, and they would drive by with the dope car, you know what I'm saying, with the nice speakers and everything was together, and you was like, man, I want a car like that when I grow up. Did you ever want to interview that, talk to that person, kind of pick their brain? Well, we actually got that individual here. He is a phenomenal entrepreneur. He's the founder of Zenith Hospitality Group. They do tons of stuff, which he's going to get into. I don't want to take all of his thunder. And just a general, just a boss and a good person. I love to talk with him. I always learn something from him. People call him JB, but we know him as Jermaine Butler. What's going on, Jermaine?
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Good.
Feeling good. How about you?
Yes.
Hey, man, I can't complain. I'm not liking the weather right now, but other than that, I can't complain.
Yeah, that's Wisconsin for you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
unpredictable, man. So, yeah, man. So I don't think I've ever asked you any of these questions before. And
we've chatted a bunch of times before. We
have. And I'm just really curious about like I guess your journey and how you are you originally from Madison, or did you kind of commute here from somewhere else?
I kind of commuted, man. I was originally born in Queens, New York.
Okay, that's what's up.
And then we migrated, and my mom got me out of trouble, and we migrated to Wisconsin. And
okay,
and here I am. So we just kind of filtered over.
Okay, cool. That's perfect. So I know you run a business now. I guess it's successful. What is kind of like a philosophy or your thought process when you look at success? And how do you define that?
I and that's a good question too, because I look at it in a number of different ways, man. Like success is what you call it. You know what I'm saying? Anyone, it could be successful, but your success might be not be my success or Opal's success. However, I define it as this. When I originally started the company, I used to have to wear my suits, and I'm going in all these offices, and I'm trying to get the business, and I'm knocking on doors and shaking hands, and yes, sir. Tables have turned a little bit right now. I'm not doing that anymore. People come to me with the suits on, and they see me in my hoodie or jeans or whatever I got on,
right.
Because I've already reached that plateau. However, I keep pushing, man. It's never enough for me, so I'm always trying to add to the success and to the company.
Yeah, that's fire. Jermaine, yeah, you a little humble. I'm gonna need you to brag a little bit more about the stuff that you have done, because DLO ain't lying. Like your sister is one of my best friends in life, and we grew up like when he talk about that person with the car. Like, I mean, I don't know how many Lincoln Navigators you had. Okay, but
I do have a few cars.
Of our month just to get a ride down to Elbert Park in one time. Okay, so.
Yeah.
You have had a path that is just amazing, right? And you're still young, and you've been doing it since you were young. So how does that, you know, before we get into the day of the life of you, how does that come to be? Because we looked up to you. You were the blueprint for some stuff, and it took
and I appreciate that. I
2
appreciate
decades
that.
longer than it took you. It feel like.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I've heard that before from other people, people that stop in looking for jobs, and they're like, "Oh, you know, my dad or my mom," and I'm like, "Oh, damn, I'm that old now, right?" But I try to stay humble. That's really it. I try not to put too much on like the social media, like the Facebook and all that, just to keep my business to myself. But because you know, there's a lot of people who would like to be in your business. But yeah, I mean, as far as bragging, like I really don't know how to really do that. I mean, I've grown a successful company. We are national. And before we get into everything that we do, I mean, I have a great team. My staff is awesome. My management's awesome. I just can't say enough about, you know, all the people that I have working under me. So that I'll brag on them because I think they're great, you know. And you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I've made some mistakes along the way, but we all do. You know, nobody's perfect. Right. But you learn from them, and you say, "I'm not gonna do that again," and you don't do it. So
yeah. So where you are now, what does a day in the life look like? I'm sure every day's not even the same. So
there's no 2 days are the same. Right now, we're actually working on a very, very big project in Houston, Houston and Corpus Christi, multi-million-dollar project. I'll brag a little bit on that one. It's like a $13 million project.
Okay. Now,
you know, I would say millions when it's 1.2, just to be clear. 13. Okay.
And 8 figures, y'all. 8 figures.
Yeah. So
we're gonna get some listeners talking about that's my type.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
My bad.
Yeah. So and it's an 8-week project, and so last week before, 3 weeks ago, I was in Palm Beach. We started a new project there, and then I was here for a week. And then last week I was in Houston last week, working on this, and then I came back home for a week, and then I'll be gone back next week. So the day in life, there's no 2 days that are the same. You know, you're running a company in different markets. You got Vegas, you got, you know, the Florida Palm Beach area, you got the Houston area, you got Madison and Milwaukee area. So you have different, you know, personalities, lifestyles, time zones, temperatures, you know, everything is completely different. So so it makes it a little hard. And that's when I rely on my management to step up and take care of their markets.
Nice.
That's dope, man. What exactly, like what was your first business? Like what was, you know, what was your first endeavor?
So my very, very first business, nobody knows this. My sister knows this. I sold, hey, write this down. This first time I'm gonna say it publicly. I was selling door-to-door imitation cologne.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Door-to-door imitation cologne. I was knocking on your door. I got the cool water. It's not cool water, but it's cool water-ish. You know,
right.
And it was the oil, so it really wasn't the actual cologne. It was just the oil you rub on your, you know, on your hot spots or whatever. And that was my first business. And then I went to selling rims. I did the AM radio station thing for a little bit. Remember that one? Yeah. And then, gosh, what did I do after that? From the radio, I went to the limos.
Right.
And we still do limos, still do that. And then the limos kind of evolved. It opened the door into the valet parking, to the house, to hotel housekeeping, and the valet trash, which is something that's new to this market, new to the Madison market. So yeah, I mean, we just took over anything under the umbrella of hospitality. And now I'm looking at, now I do a lot of smaller investments, like in the smaller businesses. So, you know, restaurants or whatever, I just throw a little couple dollars in there and make some money.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. So
Multiple streams.
yeah, that's like a true like entrepreneur spirit that you have. And you like your path's a little different. So I don't know like the early years. So like I know you went away to school, but did you ever have a 9 to 5? And
So
or
I
was
did.
it
I
okay,
did. I
okay.
worked for Ameritech Cellular
Okay.
back in the day, like before Prime Code, before with
Yeah.
the brick phone, and
Yeah.
and you had the carport where you had to get your phone and plug it into the thing and get the wire and screw the antenna in the bottom and all that. So yeah, I was there for a few years, and then I ended up working at I went to Gateway for a little bit, so Gateway Computers.
Okay.
Yep. And I was a store manager over there at Gateway, and then I started working on my limo business, and then that's when I started out at American Family, and I worked at American Family for one winter. And during that time, I was writing my business plan as I was working, and when I was ready, I put in my notice, and I was like, I'm about to do it. And I drove out to Iowa and bought the biggest limo I could find, not knowing any of the laws or anything. Like, I'm about to get this car. And I bought this limo. It was a 25 passenger excursion. Had marble floors, had a fireplace in it. I mean, it was.
Damn, that's nice.
It was it.
Okay.
First time ever driving something like that, So I drove it back to Madison, and I was living in a little apartment over here on the west side, and it was alternate parking because it was winter. So every morning I get up and drive the thing down, turn around, and come back. But that's what you got. That's the grind. You know what I mean? You got to make it happen, and I stuck with it, and it just kind of evolved into where everything is right now.
Yeah, that's dope. That's like a common theme that we hear, that like there's going to be two things you said. One, that there's going to be a time in your life where you're doing both. Right. Both. And for you, it could have been a winter. For some other folks, it's 5 years. Right. And then just that other piece of a leap of faith. Right. You say you didn't know the laws. You went out to Iowa and you bought this thing. So that's huge. And that's a theme, regardless of industry, that we've heard from folks. So just because it looks sweet, no quick fix. There's no work.
And and there's still a lot of headache, especially being a person of color.
Yep.
The state of Wisconsin is always on your back, and they are. I mean, the state is always popping up. We're here to do an audit, and I'm like, So I just log into my computer. I'm like, hey man, have fun. I'll see you later. And I just leave.
What's up?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's always something, man. It's always something. So
cool. Yeah, I forgot to mention too, for all of our listeners out there, definitely grab you a notebook. So as our people come in here, they're always dropping jewels. You never know what you're gonna learn. So I find that when you write things down, it sticks into the mind a lot better. So that's just a quick note for all the jewels that he's dropping right now. So from your 9 to 5 until you ran a business, what was that process like? Were you just kind of like stacking bread? You noticed you mentioned a business plan as well, which I kind of want to ask you about too, like how you learn how to put that together. But what was that kind of that transition process from you going to working at these corporate positions and going and making your own corporation?
I followed the corporate rules. I still made it a 9 to 5. It was just my 9 to 5.
Right.
And even today, if I'm in Madison, I can easily work from home. But I get myself up, get dressed, showered, ate my breakfast, and I leave. Just like I was going to anybody else's job, I'm going to my job.
Yeah.
Just happens to be mine instead of someone else's. And the hustle's hard. I mean, a lot of people say, JB, you got it, man. You lucky. I want to be like you. Well, here's the thing. And I'm going to repeat this, something that my dad said to me one day, and it's kind of stuck with me. He said, if you want to be like me, then there's no need for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if I say, Brad, I want to be like you, then ain't no need for Brad.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that kind of stuck with me. So you don't want to be like nobody else.
Yeah.
so that's what stuck with me.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Did your parents run a business too? Like your mom, your dad? Did they?
So my dad was actually the first black jeweler in New York.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then my mom worked on Wall Street for a little bit, and she was the director for the State Investment Board here in Madison. Trader Investment Board, and then my mom and her sisters opened up a gift shop for a little bit.
Southside.
Yeah.
What do they call sisters?
Yeah,
like sisters gift shop or sisters. Yeah, they made our basketball sweatshirts.
Correct.
They made our team sweatshirts. Yeah,
correct. Well, actually, I made your team sweatshirt.
Oh, okay. Well, they held up well. It's still somewhere. I can't fit it, but it's somewhere.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, as far as any businesses, that's probably the only one that I can remember that I know of that had happened. But yeah, other than that, like I think that that's all I could think of growing up, and I just always knew that I had the drive for something. Like I lived in an apartment, and I had a couple of roommates, and actually Chuck, Corey's brother, was one of my roommates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lived together for maybe 2-3 years, man. Chuck's a really good friend of mine, man. Love Chuck, Charles Whitmore, and I was hustling. I went to the office. I said, hey, I tell you what, I will wash all the windows in the complex for no rent.
Okay.
Boom. It took me a couple 3 days, a week. I'm cleaning windows and I'm done. That covered my rent. And then now I can still go and do whatever I got to do to grow my own stuff.
Right.
And then it evolved into cleaning apartments when people moved out, and then I started making some money. So it's always that you got to think like a couple steps ahead of someone else. You know what I mean? And I've done it all, man. I done clean stuff you want to know about. I've done it all. Driving the limos, I could write a book on the stories that I've had from the limos, and so yeah. I mean, it's just it's good to know that I'm able to tell these stories.
Yeah, and you should. I hope a book is in your future, because we'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, I actually I just started talking with someone about a month ago about writing something. So
nice.
Oh, that's dope.
Very, very dope. Very dope. So you talk about folks, and we're all connected on here too. So you often hear that your network is your net worth. Can you talk about how has that shown up in your life, and how does that,
So I'm going to tell you this. Another story. So the week we opened in Vegas, I met a guy, and he said, let's go golfing. I've never golfed a day in my life. So I said, okay, I'm down. Let's go. So you got to play it off. Right?
Yeah. I've been doing this.
So I go to the golf shop, and I buy everything: the hat, the shirt, the pants, shoes. I look the game, but I know the game. And we get out on the course. He's like, you see that guy over there? He's worth $22 million. You see this guy? So I said, okay, this is my circle, right? You hang out with 100-aires, you're going to be 100-aire.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be more than that. So I started hanging out with the golfers. Next thing you know, we ended up with the contract at the Link Casino and Hotel on the Strip. So again, you put yourself in that environment, you're gonna learn, and then you're gonna ear hustle a little bit and see what's out there. So that's how we ended up with some of those deals.
Nice. Yeah. I sense like some fearlessness in that too, right? Like, because that would, a lot of folks was like, I don't really golf, I don't get down like that. And yeah, that explains a lot, because you are multinational. And or you are across the nation with your business. And I can't like you said, Houston is way different from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Houston's
so had you made connections in all those places before you started your business? Did you lay down some sort of foundation?
So Miami was a trip that me and the fellas took, and I was like, man, I really like it here. We need to put a couple limos here. So I did. Boom. That was a little slower transition. The Vegas office was really I went out there with a couple friends of mine. You guys know them all, but I won't name drop. And we landed, and I was like, "Yo, let's get a limo." And because I was doing limos at the time, so I was like, "Let's get a limo." But I probably called 6 limousine companies. Nobody answered the phone.
Oh.
I'm not saying they didn't have the cars available, but nobody answered the phone. And right then, I was like, "Yo, hey, y'all can go ahead and go back. I got to do a little research." And that's how we ended up out in Vegas. So it's really all about the need, and you do a little market survey, and you learn what's out there. Houston's a little different. It's a very, very big city, and Houston is something where you got 3 million people in the city, as opposed to 400,000 or 500,000 here.
Yeah.
So, and it's always 100 and something degrees out there. So you really got to be on top of your game out there. But I love it. I love what I do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Nice.
Yeah. I love Houston too. I love Texas, man. It's just that's why you can. Them Houston like hip hop artists, they can just stay there and don't even need to go to another market.
Yep, you can stay right there, and you can blow up there, and you be fine. Yep.
Cool. So you have you mentioned what was it, valet
trash?
Yeah, I've never heard anything like that before. So like what? How did you find out about valet trash? Is this so? I feel like this is something like you made up. Like you like, man.
So it's not something that I made up, but it is something that I kind of tweaked a little bit. So in my apartment in Houston, they have a service, and you basically take your trash can and you set it outside your door in the hallway, and then at night somebody comes through and picks it up. Well, I kind of upscaled it a little bit, where we use an actual container. I thought I had one around here. We use an actual, I issue like a 13-gallon trash can to each unit. And so they set the whole can outside. So now it looks uniform. And of course, my logo, my brand is on the can.
Nice.
So,
Right.
So at the same time, you're also branding everyone's apartment. They're seeing this logo every day. They wake up, they see the logo, every day. So that's what happens. And then we come through between 8 p.m. and 12 p.m. and empty the trash and take it down and clean it up. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
We need that around here. That's really nice.
A lot of places need it. And, and the biggest part of my my struggle in Wisconsin is I have to educate my client and then sell my client at the same time. A lot of markets, like if I'm selling valet parking, they already know about valet.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
In Wisconsin, and especially in Madison, we're the only valet company. Simple as that. We're the first ones here. There might be one new one here, but I think they're not local. I think they're from I don't know where they're from. But as far as that goes, like we're the only ones here. So we kind of got the market locked down.
Nice. You talked in there like about your branding, and I'm looking at you now. You got your beautiful signage back there. You got your jacket is Zenith. Right. What role and how did that come about for you for your marketing and understanding that you need to put your name out there several times for folks to get it?
Well, the thing with the company is, it's Zenith. People always think it's the TV. The old school.
Yeah, for sure.
But as you see, I didn't change. I took the Z off and I stretched out the H. I don't know if you can see it. The H is stretched out a little more on the logo. So, it's just pounded in people's heads. You just pound it in. And that's my only way of branding. I don't, like I said before, I like to do the guerrilla marketing. The old school T-shirts, flyers, I'm not with the social media commercials and ads and all that stuff. It just it doesn't work for my style of business. Sure. If I had an actual product or inventory or something I was selling, it'd be different. But we're a service provider, so it's really hard to sell. I can't sell my services to a bunch of 18-year-olds. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
not my market. So we do a lot of, like I said, we do a lot of the more guerrilla marketing style. Yeah.
And you build a lot of trust in the community too. I won't shut them out, but I know a lot of businesses that I've seen you working with. Did that just come over time? Was there any strategy tips you can share in that with us, from especially being someone local? Did you sell the local angle? Was it hard to not be someone coming from somewhere else?
Yeah, it's tough, and it's not really selling the local aspect. It's more about just getting in there and letting them know what you can do. There's a lot of companies. Yeah, you're right. I work with a lot of companies in the city. And I just started thinking about it while you said that. I'm like, yeah, I really do. I never really, you never really look at it until you look at the big picture, and then you start putting your pins on the map. And now I can see like where we are. It's really about the trust. You're right. It's about the trust. We're definitely a trustworthy company, and you can always reach me. And that's one thing I like to have. You can always reach me direct, and a lot of people have my direct number too. Opal, you got my direct number. Brad, you got my direct number. Like you can, if you need me for anything, you can get me on the horn, and I will respond. I always respond. I do feel like, obviously the skin color is a hurdle in this area.
Yep.
Sure.
And you got to play the game, but the only color that matters to them is green, and the only color that matters to me is green. So that's what we got in common. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not here to point fingers, and but I do try to give back to the community by hiring a lot of us.
Nice.
And most of the time it doesn't work out well, but
let's keep it real now.
Most of the time they end up getting replaced. But I'm not gonna stop that mission.
I love that.
Because I remember being in those shoes, being looking for my first job, or trying to make a couple dollars to do X, Y, and Z. And the problem we have right now with our community is a lot of these kids are able to make quick money. And they don't understand how to make money and wait for that check. So that's something that our generation, we understood. We had to go make this money. Back then it was only 2 weeks. Like there was no option of some jobs pay every week, some jobs pay 2 weeks. Back when we was growing up, 2 weeks. And you had to wait 4 weeks for your first check.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Yeah.
You had to wait 4 weeks for your first check.
And you weren't gonna get it till like the afternoon of that Friday.
Correct.
And had to go to the bank.
Correct.
If you had an account.
Yeah. You had to physically take your check.
Yes.
To the bank. And so with that being said, I made sure for my company that we pay every Friday.
Nice.
There's a 1 week wait, so you don't have to wait 2-3 weeks. Direct deposit is mandatory.
Nice.
Nice. Mandatory, so that because we have people across the country. If we mail a check, your paycheck might not get there to Tuesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's mandatory direct deposit. If you don't have a bank account, we issue you a bank account here with a bank card, with a debit card, a Visa debit card, and everything.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Man, that's love. Yeah.
So things that we learned growing up that we didn't like, I'm in a position to make those changes.
I love that. That's amazing, because so many of us are underbanked or unbanked, right? And then that means somebody's getting way too much of your check when you have to take it to a check cashing place or something like that. You are doing a lot in that, right? You're increasing the financial literacy. Not only are you hiring us, but you're doing all these additional things, and then understanding that our economic stability is not, we look at the graphs. Black folks are at the bottom. We are the least economically stable, right? And regardless of income, we're the least stable. So being smart in the way that paying folks every week and understanding it, like that's something that I'm always saying, like big corporations are going to have to get with that too.
They have to.
They've got to.
They got to get with it because the weekly pay structure, I feel is a little bit easier on the business, on the financial strain portion too. I mean, I'd rather have a 1 week payroll than have 2 weeks of payroll coming out the bank account. I'd rather have the 1 week. That's a big hit. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm in a position to make changes, so I do what I can.
And that's love. That's love. So out of all the businesses that you do under your hospitality group, which one is your favorite one? Because I know you do the valet parking management, valet trash, hotel housekeeping, travel services, and much more. Which one is your personal favorite?
So my personal favorite, and it is not even listed on there. When I first started my company, we would have uniforms, and I would have to order these uniforms, these valet jackets and winter coats. Everything was branded everything's branded with the company name on it, and banners and decals and for the limos, windows, stickers, and all that stuff. So about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I got smart and I bought the equipment.
Oh, okay.
I bought the equipment to make the logos on the jackets and everything. So we do everything in house.
Oh, that's real dope.
Right.
That's smart and dope. Yeah.
So what I ended up doing is making another small business off of it called QTs, where we make shirts and we can do one-off. So you don't have to come to me and order 40 shirts or 50 shirts. You can say I need 2 or 1. And we do full color. I mean, it's right in house. It's actually in here. So that's my favorite because I get to go fool around with different designs and make whatever I want.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it's fun though. For me, it's fun. The other stuff is, don't get me wrong, I've done it all. I've changed the oil on the cars. I parked the cars. I cleaned hotel rooms. I mean, whatever we service, whatever we do, I will do it. Not saying that I would like to do it anymore, but I have done it and I don't mind. But the t-shirts and the printing is fun.
Nice. And is that like QTs, like the 2 letters? Like I'm kind of interested in using that business for myself. Black Currency, we could use some swag. What's the
Well, for y'all, what I would encourage you to do
is
to come over here and learn how to do it.
Oh,
okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have you come over here and learn how to do it. So when you call me, hey, JB, I need some shirts, I'm going to say, hey, Gabby, Brad and Opal coming over, just let them in.
Nice.
And then you can go do your thing. But it's Q-TEES.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got you.
We're taking you up on that. Believe that.
Yeah, do it for sure.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man.
I'll be here all day.
Okay.
That's so dope.
You talked a little bit about like the young folks, right? And part of your give back. So we always say that like we want this show, like we wish we had this show when we were like 25. Like that would have been super valuable to be thinking about money in this way. When you are having someone come and work for you, what are the top 2-3 qualities that you're just looking for in somebody that they need to deliver on?
So I'm going to tell you, I got an interview process where I will ask you, I say, hey, Opal, but I'm going to give you 2 questions right now. You can answer them at the end of the interview. And they have nothing to do with the job. And I'll say, name a food that doesn't spoil. And why is the tennis ball soft? I progress with the interview. And at the end of the interview, I will say, do you have any questions for me? If you don't bring that up, I don't consider it.
Nice. I love that.
That lets me know that you can multitask in your brain. I don't necessarily need you to know how to do valet parking. I don't need you to know. I can. That's all. Those are all trainable services. I just need to know that your brain can function on two different
nice.
Scopes. Yeah.
That's a gem right there. I might have to steal that and use that in my own. I like that a lot.
That's real dope. Yeah, go for it.
Nice. That's in my head now. Like, why is a tennis ball soft?
I'm like, because it get hit a lot, right? I'm like,
it's
okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Even if they try to answer it and the answer is wrong, you don't care.
Yeah,
right.
You just want them to be able to try to process the answer. Tennis ball soft because they try to slow it down a little bit, and then the food that doesn't spoil is honey.
True that.
Honey. And I had another question was how many kids? What is the record number of kids that a woman has had? Yeah, what is the record number of kids that one woman has had in her lifetime?
Is it Octomom or is somebody?
No. At one time?
I don't know then.
Well, not at one time, but in her life.
Wow. 30?
I know the answer. It's like 69.
What?
Wow, that's a crazy number too.
One woman, exactly, right? Does it have something to do with that? But no, if you Google it, it was 69. I think she's from Russia. She had like 24 births.
Ooh.
Wow.
But she had triplets, quadruplets, twins every time, over the course of like 40 years, she had 69 kids.
Man, that's crazy.
Dang.
She's got a little village, like literally.
Yeah. Fun fact right there. Fun fact right there.
I'm gonna keep that one. That is a fun fact.
Keep that one. Yeah. That's that bar trivia. You can hit somebody with it. If you get the answer, I buy you all shot.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just started thinking while we're talking to you guys, and I'm thinking about like my day-to-day routines, and I do have a day-to-day routine. I just thought about it. Like I wake up, I give me a bowl of Apple Jacks. I turn on the Golden Girls.
I know you like the Golden Girls.
I turn on the Golden Girls.
That's a joint.
And I get my laptop and I go on LinkedIn and I send out 20 emails to random people on LinkedIn every morning. Every morning I do the same thing. I've been doing it for years. And then I get dressed, go to work, do my emails, make my phone calls. So that's my process. And I'm sure there's something else I should be doing, but it works for me.
Yeah.
Word. So you just on LinkedIn basically networking.
I'm on LinkedIn networking. Yeah. On LinkedIn, I can reach anybody across the world.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why Apple Jacks? That's just been your favorite?
That's my jam, man. Apple Jacks. I like the Apple Jacks. They all right.
That's like you're starting your day with stuff like that brings you joy, right? So you got your Apple Jacks, you got Golden Girls. Try to stay mad.
Yeah,
watching Golden Girls.
You can't. It calms you down, even if you know you're coming to work into a storm. You like, I'm allowed to watch these Golden Girls real quick. Calm me down real quick before I get up and get ready to go in. I'm gonna fool with Blanche and Rose real quick, and then I'll go in.
So who's your favorite? Because I love them all, but I'm rocking with Sophia all day.
Sophia's my favorite, but I feel like Rose kind of brings everybody together. If Rose wasn't on that show, I don't think it would be that great.
No,
you can remove everyone else, but Rose is like the one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know nothing about St. Olaf.
Right.
Without Rose.
No, nobody would know anything about St. Olaf. No.
Repping the Midwest, she's
right.
Yeah. That's a great show.
You do have business in Miami now. I mean, some things, unconsciously.
There's the connection. There's the connection. Yeah.
So you're in multiple markets. Is there one that is like your favorite that you really like to, you enjoy building?
Palm Beach is my favorite. I can tell you right now, this is actually not public knowledge, but I'm moving my Houston apartment to Palm Beach. Probably within the next 3 months or so. I'm gonna pick up and move everything there to Palm Beach. That's it's the weather's nice, everything's cleaner and put together in the city. Traffic's not jammed up every 2 miles. There's one highway. It's kind of like Madison. There's a belt line. There's one highway. Houston, you got, there's probably 15, 20 highways. So, and they're all backed up at the same time. Like, it's like you can't try to sneak off and hit another one and go hit another jam.
Right.
So yeah, that's my move.
Okay.
Palm Beach is it.
Nice. So, we always try to talk a little bit about, if we can, like all the things that are a buzz. So like right now, stock market's kind of crazy. Crypto is all the buzz, but it's also doing its thing right now, going up and down with everything else. Do you do like traditional investments, or are you just really investing back into the business? Is it a combination? What does that look like?
I've been trying to get into something. I just don't have the time right now. And I think I reached out to Brad at one point on something about, was it about crypto? Was it? I reached out to you for that at one point.
Probably did. We've talked about a lot of things. I'm sure we have.
I think we have.
He's our crypto guru of the group for sure.
Yeah,
he is the early adopter.
Yeah. So I just, some of the things I'm skeptical of. I'm not gonna lie. There's been some things presented to me in the past, and I'm just like, I don't know, bro. But I would like to get into some more real estate, and get some more property. But as far as anything else, I mean, that's probably where I am. Small businesses here and there, trying to grow my own company. That's pretty much it. Nice.
That's awesome. Would you? I think I know the answer to this, but would you ever do a 9-to-5 again?
So funny you should say that. I was trying to get I wanted a 2022 Tesla.
Okay.
And so and they were telling me like the only way you can get it is, you got to get the inside scoop and get on the list quick.
Yeah.
So I tried to get a job over there. And I had a couple of interviews, and the lady was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I really don't see you. I don't see you sticking around. I'm like, hey, to be honest with you, like she wanted me to drive to Milwaukee every day and manage the store, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make that drive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna even take the job and have you start looking again for somebody.
Yep.
Right.
So I kind of but that was my goal, was to get the job and get on that list and get the car. But it didn't work out the way I wanted to. But as far as going back to 9-to-5, depends on what it is. It might be a hotel GM or something like that. I could fool with it. It will probably be after I sold the company, or or maybe just let it run on its own. But yeah, I could probably do something like that.
Yeah, I see a pattern with you too. Like if you do take a job, you usually take something that you're gonna learn something from, and then you can apply it to something else. You said hotel GM. I could see Zenith Hotels. You know what I'm saying? Like in the future. So kind of going on that path. What else do you see for Zenith in the future?
We definitely will be owning a hotel. Okay. Probably by end of 23.
Oh,
okay, that's
nice.
what's up.
Yeah, we definitely be doing that. Also, we're looking to get into Canada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So those are the two things that are on my program for the next couple of years. Tried to do it a couple years back, and they said they weren't allowing American businesses. And she said I could thank the president at the time. And that was at the business, the consulate office.
Oh wow!
He said you can thank your president. And I was like, well, he ain't my president,
right?
Right.
And then I ended up making these shirts that says, "All I know is he ain't my president."
Nice.
Right.
Right.
So because I had the ability to do it here, so I made these shirts that said that. But yeah, so that's the goal is to get into Canada and to get into one of these hotels, buy somebody out, or I won't build one, but I'll be able to buy one out soon.
Nice.
That's dope, man. Congratulations on that, man. I'll definitely book me some rooms and kick it.
Yeah, book some rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. So one of the things that I always think about a lot, because I'm a parent, you're a parent as well, we're all parents on here, is legacy, right? So no matter how good and great you get working for someone else, I don't care if you're the CEO, you can't pass that down to your children, right? Be it the knowledge of building it, be it the actual thing and asset itself. Do you involve your kids in your work? Are you teaching them some of that stuff? Do they have any desire?
I would love to. However, my kids are they're on their own path right now. And I don't know if you guys know, my son's a skater.
Yep.
He's damn good at it.
Yeah.
That's his path. And I let him go down his path until he's ready. My daughter's the same. She's doing her makeup thing, and that's her path. But they do know that when they're ready, they have a place here.
Right.
And it will be definitely handed down to them. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Generational businesses, man. Like,
yeah, you have to. You have to.
Man.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. I mean, it just makes sense. There's no need in having them trying to crack the code.
Right.
You know what I mean? I already got the secret sauce, so
right.
You know, you gotta keep it going. There's no need to try to reinvent it. So.
Yeah, that's a generational wealth, which we're so far behind as a people.
I mean, exactly the same thing is in Palm Beach. Like you go to Palm Beach, you see $30 million houses. You see somebody coming out who's 28, 30 years old. You know good and well.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
You know good and well.
Right. Yeah.
You ain't buy that house.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you start looking at stuff like that and putting me in that environment.
Yeah.
It's gonna push me.
Right.
And like I said before, you hang out with 100 you're gonna be 100 there. You know, I wanna bump up my status. So I'm gonna move my whole home into that area and try to become a little bit more financially sufficient.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Who are some of the people in your life that you would say are really your big, like your top 3 inspirations that you would say to this day?
You know, number one, I'll say my mom. My mom and my sister, I'll put them as one. My mom and sister, I mean, that's pretty much all I had growing up. And I always run everything by them. You know, my sister and my mom, they give me the great advice. 90% of the time, they're always opposites, so it doesn't help. One of them will say, "Oh, you should do it blue," and the other will say, "No, do it white." I'm like, "Well, y'all not helping me." But I respect their decisions always. And a lot of times it's tough, and it's just like you know, it's tough. It's just like I said before, when people say, "Oh, JB, I want to be like you." Well, no, you don't. Like, I still work for somebody. I work for my staff, right? Like, they need to get paid.
Yeah.
So I got to hustle to collect these checks from my vendors so I can pay my staff. So my job is really never done. Like, if I close a contract, that's great. It's a great deal. It could be a $50 million deal, but if I don't collect that check, it don't mean nothing.
Right.
It means nothing to me. Like, that just means that I'm in the hole now because I got to pay these cats, and I never collected my money from the vendor. So, you know, although everything looks great on the outside, like, I'm still hustling. Like, I'm still working. I'm working for my staff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom and my sister definitely. I definitely like Denzel Washington's another one. My favorites, man. I definitely follow his journey, and it seems like everything that comes out of his mouth is like so proficient. Like, it's just perfect, right? Everything that comes out. So I definitely respect him as a man, as a father, as an actor. He's definitely the one. You know, probably a few months ago, I would have said Will Smith.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
I'm still Team Will. You know,
I'm still Team Will too. And I'm gonna, you know, and I know I'm getting off topic real quick. But
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm gonna say this. Will Smith did what every man in that audience said they would have done.
Facts.
And let me explain to you.
True.
If Brad, if you was with your wife and somebody on stage was talking smack about her, you would call me up like, JB, man, I wish I just went up there and slapped her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, I wish JB, if I could, I would have went up there and slapped shit out of him. Will just did it.
He did it.
Yep. He did exactly what was on his mind.
He did it. However, I do feel somebody was pushing his buttons on the side of him. he just did it. He protected his family.
Yeah.
So I respect him for that, man. And I just think it was bad timing. He should have just waited, went backstage. You Will Smith, you can got in any door in that building. You Will Smith.
Yeah. Chris is, I personally feel like Chris Rock is a little dude, man. Like, if it was somebody else like on that stage, I don't know if that would have went down like that.
I don't think so either. Actually, I know it wouldn't. I know it wouldn't. But I also think that Chris Rock took that slap for a whole lot of other people.
Yeah.
I think I feel like
that's true. That's true. That's
true.
Some
built up shit from some other people.
Yeah.
Real.
Even his wife, he probably wanted to slap his wife. Look at him. I'm just gonna go up here and slap Chris real quick. Right. Let everybody know I ain't no punk.
No.
Right.
So I do. I Will Smith is one of my favorites too, man. I mean, I can't knock him. He just made a bad decision, and we all do. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's a fact.
Nobody's perfect, man. Nobody's perfect. He's Will Smith. Like he's a man. He's a father. He's a black man. He's a husband.
Yeah.
He's all that. So everybody will learn from that.
Thanks. And we as Black folks are under a microscope, anyways. And you think about how much he has not gotten in trouble for decades, right? He's not done anything people did. Like, and
he don't even curse in his raps.
Right. He's like damn near perfect.
Right.
But I say that too, like from the female angle. Like I saw some, folks online saying, "Oh, I'm sure Jada was embarrassed." I'm like, Will got the best loving of his life that night because as a woman too, like you might have said, okay, that probably wasn't a great business decision, but no, you're gonna be like, you know what? After 27 years, he's still defending my honor and he's protected us.
Nah, Will Smith really and he opened a lot of eyes too. He made sure people know I'm Will Smith. I ain't no punk.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might be King Richard on the movie, but
I think he channeled a little bit of that.
Too much in the character.
He channeled a little bit of that. He channeled, but then I saw some Wild Wild West too, because when he turned around, he kind of buttoned up his joint.
It was a little bit, it was a little bit of
slapped him,
Wild.
And then he turned around with the Wild Wild West look and buttoned up his joint.
That's why we thought it was staged at first.
Yeah. It was too professional. Right? It was just like slapping and then like, all right. You know what I'm saying?
But Chris Rock got a chin on him though too. He took that slap.
He took that like a G. He took that like a G. No lie.
He did. I don't know if Will Smith wouldn't have made it off stage though. Yeah.
Oh,
it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been as a peaceful exchange like that.
No doubt. That's hilarious, man. So yeah, man. Are there any books like that's like are your top, couple books?
I've been. I read Michelle Obama's.
Becoming.
Loved it. Right now I'm on Barack's.
That Barack's is like war.
Man, that's a long book.
I'm going
like, bro, like you gotta do something, man. But there's another book that I have at the house that I usually breeze through. It's a quote book. And that's where I put my quotes up on when I used to put my quotes online. I would get them out of this book. And it's written by Kenneth Cole.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Awareness by Kenneth Cole. And it just has a lot of awareness quotes in there and kind of gives you a little bit of different perspective on a lot of things. So.
Nice. I love it. So the awareness in the sense of like EQ and
like self-awareness. Self-awareness. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sounds fresh.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, after having this exchange with you guys, I started to think about the company, and it's, from the inside looking out, I don't look at it as grand as it really is. And right now I'm looking at it, and there's really a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts, in the company. I mean, there's over 100 staff.
Dang.
I have, but I don't manage all of them.
Right.
I just manage their managers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I only have 5 that report to me, and then they can break down their team into like 3 or 4 supervisors or 2 supervisors, and then they can manage it how they want. but they report to me, the 5. And I feel like that's always easier to manage instead of trying to, because you don't want to have 100 and some people calling your phone every day.
No, man. No.
You know, it's not fun. But yeah, I'm looking at the company now, and it's looking pretty good. We're at 0 debt.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's lovely.
Yeah, we're at 0 debt.
Nice.
We are in a position to do whatever we want. And if I wanted to walk away today, I could, and I'd be fine. But why not keep growing? So,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. You definitely created a name, an excellent reputation, and you've got staying power, which is huge. And to have again expanded beyond your first market.
Yeah.
Is incredible. So
Absolutely.
you should. Yeah, I know you are very humble, and you are, like you said, you'll do any of the jobs. But yeah, you gotta. Some of the best advice I was ever given is sometimes take a breth and enjoy and appreciate and look back on all you've accomplished.
Right, and ride the wave. But back to the first question that you guys said, we were talking about cars. I still have a nice little collection of vehicles, and I'm always gonna be a car guy. And I love them to death.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that I do pride myself on, is the cars for sure.
Nice. So what's your favorite car then?
My favorite car is probably I got a Maserati.
Okay.
SUV Maserati. It's in Houston.
Nice. I was gonna say I ain't seen that one up here because anything like that we would have noticed.
That one's in Houston, and I'm shipping it to Palm Beach.
Nice.
I do have a Maybach, a white Maybach.
Oh, sweet.
And that's here. That's here in Madison. Nice. That's my daily driver, actually. And then I have the Jaguar, which is a candy apple red 2-door Jag. And then my classic Buick. I know Opal probably remembers that one, the old school. With the
yeah. That's the summertime coming down, McKenna. I remember that. Yeah.
But that bad boy get too hot when the sun is out. My dome be, I want the top up, but I need the air on his head. So, but yeah, those are my favorites, and I just love my cars. I just love my cars. So, that's probably my pride and joy out of the business is being able to buy whatever wheels I want.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you one question just popped into my mind. I remember we've had many conversations, and in your business you sometimes run across celebrities. So were there any celebrities that you've kind of met and actually kind of made a little relationship with?
Let me tell you this. So I would say probably about 5, maybe about 7, 8. No, it's probably longer than that. Anyway, Bill Cosby.
What?
I'm gonna tell you, Bill Cosby, and I call him Billy. I got his phone number still. I'm sure it's not the same.
Okay.
But Bill Cosby will come. He come to Madison every other year and do a show.
I remember that.
Overture Center.
Yeah.
I was the one picking him up at the airport. I pull up next to his plane, pick him up. He walk out. He get in the car. He sit in the front seat, fool with the radio, and I'd be like, Billy, what are you doing? You don't mess with a black man radio. And we get right? and it was every time.
Yeah.
And this is my first time telling this public story. So get this. So every time he comes to here, we go to State Street brats. He likes the brats, mustard only. And so he gets in the car and he calls his wife. Hey, I made it to Madison. I'm safe. Hangs up. Calls his daughter. It's all on the Bluetooth, right? Because he automatically connected because he's been in the car before. Right. Calls his wife. His daughter. He's like, yeah, I'll let you know I made it. How are you doing, Dad? He said, I'm good. She's like, how you really doing? He's like, I'm good. Well, that woman is back again. And so, so my right. Okay. So I just keep driving. He's like, all right, I'm gonna call my publicist. So he called his publicist. I'm glad you called. What do you want me to do? Blah, blah, blah. He says, whatever you do, don't pay her because I ain't do it.
Oh.
And I'm on East Watch. At this point, I'm on East Watch, right? I'm like, All right. It ain't none of my business.
Right.
So we get to State Street brats, and we sitting there eating our brat outside. Nobody knew who he is. They probably thought he was my granddad or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, Billy, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, man.
Mm.
Well, he says, well, Mr. Jermaine, he calls Mr. Jermaine, tell you something. Every time I go to make a major purchase, there's a woman that shows up and says I did these things to her.
Mm.
He said last week I signed a deal to buy NBC. Damn. Now, check this shit out. This is no bullshit. Last week I signed a deal to buy NBC.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I can't tell you if I had sex with this woman or not, but I know I didn't take it. And he said, she makes these claims about these drugs, me giving her drugs. He was like, it was the 70s. If she was doing drugs, I was doing them too. Like this.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
Straight up. And he said, back then I was Denzel.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, man. I'm like, you don't have to explain this to me, man. I just wanted to know. We get to the Overture Center. We pull up, and there's a whole bunch of people out there. They want signatures. He says, Mr. Jermaine, go pick 2 people. I said, you want to just pick 2? He said, either you pick 2 or you sign my name on everybody's stuff. Right. So I got out the car. I was like, you and you, come here. So he signed. He went to upstairs. Mm-hmm. And I said, he had on like a sweatshirt and some sweatpants. And I said, are you gonna change for the show? He said, they didn't pay for a suit. Oh. They paid for Bill Cosby. He said if they wanted a suit, it's gonna cost them more. I said, okay. I'm learning. I'm picking up the knowledge, right? I'm like, okay,
yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
He went on stage, and his whole set was about me picking him up and driving him all the way to the thing. Them people applauded, stood up. I mean, it was crazy how he put it together.
So he basically freestyled the show.
The whole show.
That's amazing.
Wow.
He talked about the lady. He talked about the phone call. He talked about me and him at State Street Brothers. And I'm backstage. I'm like, yeah. So afterwards, we getting ready to leave, and they hand him like a briefcase, like a briefcase with money, like something you see in the movies, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some bullshit.
And so I'm like, are we taking this? He was like, oh yeah, we taking it. The money's in there. And I was like, is it cash? He's like, yeah, it's cash.
What? And
I was like, man, I'm like, you don't have no security? He said, I never had security. He said, I never had security. And he took the cash. I took him back to his plane and said Billy on the side. He got in and flew up.
Wow.
That's
2 days later, 2 days later, it hits the news. Bill Cosby accused of all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. It was that woman, the older one with the kind of looked like a man kind of.
Yeah.
It was her. And then a little bit after that, it was like 30 women. Then I'm like 60 women. I'm like, dog, come on, man. Like, I was on your side for a minute, bro.
Right. It's getting out of hand now, right? Right. Everybody can't be lying.
Yeah, right, man. Right. So, but and he also said that the woman wanted to be an actress, and and he was like trying to mentor her, but nobody was hiring her. So he paid her way through college. He said, and I heard this first before the accusations. So I'm kind of biased now. I'm Team Billy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I got on a Hillman shirt. Let the record show.
Right.
A different world is why I went to college.
I'm Team Billy. But yeah, that story just in my eyes, he Dr. Huxtable. Can't do no wrong.
Same.
For real.
Yeah.
Same.
For real. Like he was like that whole show it just made me feel so much better about myself and like
that
I
one and the other one too with the other one with
Different World?
With Urkel.
Oh, Family Matters.
Oh, Family Matters, yeah.
Family Matters, the one the episode with the drug dealer. Remember the episode with the drug dealer came by the house? And no, I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about Rock. Remember Rock?
Oh yeah.
Remember the Trash Man? Remember?
Oh yeah, with the bald head Rock. Yeah, I used to like the theme song for that one too. Yeah, now
that was dope. And then the episode with the drug dealer, he was like, "You will not be on my block selling drugs." You know, I was like, oh, that was deep, man. I was like, yeah, you can't do that shit now, dog.
Yeah.
You get your head blown off. But,
yeah, that's that old school.
Yeah.
That story is amazing. Like, I'm so geeked that you shared that with us. Like, that is.
I got photos of him on the phone, like talking to his publicist in the green room, and then me and him standing outside the airplane. It was that trip, and what's crazy is I never asked celebrities for photos.
Yeah.
And that particular time, he was like, "Get out, take a photo with me."
Nice.
And then this happened, right? So I'm like,
then you can't even.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, thank you. Yo, thank you for sharing that story. Now we got like a Black Currency Podcast exclusive.
Yeah. You got the exclusive for sure.
Straight from you. But yeah, man, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate your time. I you know what I'm saying? Like I wish I could talk to you for a whole nother hour. But yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the show and dropping all the jewels. Let me pull up your website for people who need professional services around the United States, Canada soon. MyZenithGroup.com. For our listeners who are trying to get in touch with Black Currency Podcast, we are on IG at Black Currency Podcast. You can find us on the YouTube channel Radio 22 and the website for myradio22.com/Black Currency Podcast. So yeah.
So I'll see you guys tomorrow, man.
I'm telling you,
I'll pull up.
We covered to get some of that for that QTs for sure.
Pull up. Bring your own shirts though.
Okay, cool.
Bring your own. Unless you need, I only got black and white T-shirts. If you need something different than that, you got to bring your own shirts.
Okay, we definitely take you up on that offer for sure. But yeah, thank you so much. You are excellence. Your entire family is Black excellence. So thank you for just blessing us with these gems and coming up on here. Yeah, you are dope. I
appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, we'll see you later. I'm gonna go find me something to eat while I watch this game.
All right.
Peace.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these trouble.